Man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's cultivate together, man.
Greetings and welcome to an African Diaspora Coalition Herbal Wellness Plant Medicine Workshop. This is the third in our series. My name is Pamela Boyce Sims, and I convene a network of wonderful herbalists, plant growers, and herbal educators. Today we're going to be talking about complementary healing systems and inflammation initially, and the anti-inflammatory herbs that we grow to address inflammation. But our main topic today is detoxification and cleansing. And the herbs that we grow in this category are burdock, dandelion, and echinacea. Let's take a moment to consider complementary alternative healing systems. Essential oils, tinctures, flower essences, and homeopathy. The African Diaspora Coalition specializes in tinctures and teas. The tinctures that we make are supported and can be used simultaneously with essential oils, flower essences, and homeopathy. These are all complementary healing systems. Essential oils are aromatic oils, meaning that they are volatile and evaporate quickly, are extracted from various parts of plants, most often by steam distillation. Tinctures are extracts made by soaking plant matter in grain alcohol or vinegar, which serves to pull out the active medicinal ingredients and leaves it in a concentrated liquid that are then dispensed in the dropper bottles, which are tinctures that we distribute. Flower essences are made from flowers only, and they capture the energetic signature of a plant and heal vibrationally. Homeopathy is a system which heals by administering very small amounts of substances that mimic the symptoms of the disease that is being treated. And here you have, in the next slide, pictures of these different types of healing products. We have on the left-hand side essential oils in the dropper bottle there, and you see the distiller, the steam distiller that is used to make these on the bottom left corner. Dandelion is one of the tinctures that we offer. You see the plant there. We use the root, and that is one of our signature tincture bottles there. The next slide is depicting the homeopathic pellets. Actually, it's on a ginkgo leaf there, up on the left-hand side, the upper left-hand side, and flower essences are depicted on the bottom right. Let's turn our attention to inflammation. Inflammation is the primary defense system of the body and part of the majority of disease syndromes. Because of this, anti-inflammatory drugs are the mainstay of medical practice, using either steroids or non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like aspirin. Herbs work in more comprehensive ways to block and reduce inflammation. They produce better clinical effects without the side effects. Musculoskeletal conditions involve inflammation of joint, muscle, ligaments, or connective tissue, such as arthritis, fibromyalgia, inflammation due to injury, etc. Here we have the 4 cardinal signs of inflammation: rubor, redness; dolor, pain; calor, heat; and tumor, swelling. Inflammation is a nonspecific healing response to infection or invasion as the body attempts to restore balance. The body is highly sensitive to all kinds of attacks. It immediately tries to bring itself back to homeostasis, to the status quo. So nonspecific here means that the inflammatory response as the body mobilizes itself against attack is always going to be the same, regardless of what causes the infection, the injury, or the invasion. The only way that the inflammatory response is going to differ is in its intensity and duration depending on the cause. So therefore, inflammation is either acute, which is a time designation, meaning it has rapid beginning and an end, or it's chronic, meaning it's ongoing. That response begins in seconds. First, isolation takes place. It separates the intruder from the rest of the body, walling it off. An example would be an abscess. Then it sends chemical messages to the immune system asking for assistance. Then the body tries to remove the invader, and then brings everything back. Changes that can cause or trigger the inflammatory response are physical trauma or any of the following changes: inordinate ionizing radiation, such as sunburn or X-rays, deprivation of oxygen and nutrients, which causes a decreased blood supply, cellular poisons, abnormal buildup of toxins, immune deficiency and autoimmune diseases, presence of foreign bodies such as splinters, parasites, external debris, bacteria, and dead host cells, as well as foreign chemicals. Here we have a list of anti-inflammatory herbs that the African Diaspora Coalition does not grow, but that we do use in our specialty tinctures for specific clients. Boswellia, which is the resin of the frankincense tree. Bromelain, which is basically pineapple, specifically the pineapple stem, but the entire plant as well. Chamomile. Curcumin, which is the key active ingredient in turmeric. Ginger. Flaxseed. Hawthorn. Licorice. Meadowsweet. Willow bark. The bark of the white willow contains the chemical salicin, which aspirin mimics. When salicin in willow bark combines with the flavonoids of the plant, it is extremely anti-inflammatory in a very powerful way. And yarrow. Fire cider is one of the African Diaspora Coalition plant medicine project's most powerful responses to inflammation. Fire cider is a liquid superfood, meaning that it is nutrient dense and packed with minerals, vitamins, and anti-inflammatories. We start with a basic recipe of organic apple cider vinegar, turmeric, ginger, jalapeno, and cayenne pepper, horseradish, garlic, and onions. Each one of these ingredients is anti-inflammatory. Combined, the healing effect, the cleansing effect, is powerful. We start with organic apple cider vinegar, which in and of itself is tremendously cleansing, detoxing, and anti-inflammatory. It helps with weight loss, regulates blood sugar, aids digestion, especially digestion of fat and meat when taken before heavy meals. It is anti-inflammatory, promoting circulation, and detoxifies the liver. To this, we add turmeric. The curcumin in turmeric reduces inflammation that causes pain, and it is as effective as ibuprofen and aspirin in pain relief as an analgesic. It reduces arthritic joint pain, boosts immunity, and we also know that turmeric used along with black pepper increases the absorption by 2,000%. Another basic ingredient, another anti-inflammatory that we know well, is ginger root. Ginger root lowers blood sugar levels, promotes circulation, reduces nausea, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant in its action, and it boosts immune function. Here we have examples of our 32-ounce and 8-ounce bottles of fire cider. We actually have 5 different blends of fire cider. Each one has the basic anti-inflammatory recipe. So we have one blend that is anti-inflammatory, specifically geared toward reducing arthritis inflammation, lowering high blood pressure, promoting healthy digestion, regularity, and circulation. We also have a diabetes tonic powered by bitter melon, cilantro, parsley, and this blend can actually lower and help manage blood sugar, helping cells to move glucose to the liver, to the muscles and fat for strong, balanced health. So the bitter melon, cilantro, and parsley, in addition to the basic powerful anti-inflammatory recipe, fuels our diabetes tonic. We have an immune boost, which is enhanced by holy basil, also known as Tulsi, which improves overall immunity, relieves stress, revitalizes the body, lowers blood sugar, blood pressure levels, and is also, obviously, anti-inflammatory. Lemony Calm, which you see here on the left-hand side, is blended with anti-anxiety, stress-relieving lemon balm, and is boosted by lemon rind goodness. This tonic relaxes as it promotes circulation. And finally, we have a memory boost, fire cider tonic, which aids memory and brain function. Rosemary promotes circulation to the brain and strengthens adrenals in this particular fire cider blend. It also detoxifies the liver and is used to lift depression. We are now going to look at detoxification and cleansing, as that process fits into the larger framework of steps toward comprehensive, holistic systems healing, which we referenced in an earlier workshop. Whereas allopathic medicine, conventional medicine, is focused primarily on symptom relief, addressing pain and discomfort, herbal medicine has a 5-step process. We focus, yes, on symptom relief initially. We follow that up with detoxification and cleansing, where we're going to go in a moment, revitalization, regeneration, and deeper pattern changes. So when we talk about detoxification and cleansing, we are talking about ridding the body of viruses, fungi, heavy metals, accumulated waste and debris, and chemical toxins. The 3 herbs that we grow in the African Diaspora Coalition that focus on detoxification and cleansing are burdock, dandelion, and echinacea. Detoxification is the foundation of natural wellness, and medicinal herbs can provide tremendous assistance in that process. Toxins are the major cause of chronic illness. Extrinsic toxins include heavy metals, pollutants, food additives, pesticides, viruses, bacteria, and parasites. Intrinsic toxins are end products generated by the cells, the organs, or from inadequately eliminated waste. These toxins also act as free radicals, oxidizing and eventually destroying living tissues. Accumulated free radicals and toxicity precipitate immune weakness, illness, and premature aging. Plants that cleanse and detoxify at the cellular level are called alterative or blood purifiers. Specific herbs can optimize the main detoxification channels of the body: the colon, the skin, the gallbladder, liver, kidneys, and lungs. And here is a list of detoxifying herbs, some of which we grow, some of which we don't. Burdock, which we do grow. Chickweed, cleavers. We do grow dandelion, nettles. We also have on our list pokeroot, red clover, and yellow dock. This next slide provides some visuals of a wonderful blood purifier that we wildcraft, burdock, at different stages. On the top right-hand side, you're seeing the root as we would find it When we go to harvest it, it grows straight down. You see the long tap roots there that grow very much like carrots, but can grow up to 2 feet long. The other slides show burdock washed and as cuttings and dried. And in the center, we have the beautiful green, wide burdock leaf with scalloped edges. Burdock is antiseptic, antibacterial, and antifungal. It's an anti-inflammatory kidney cleanser, clearing heavy metals. It acts as a liver tonic and stimulant, improving the metabolism of liver hormones, and it's also a mild laxative. It tones the stomach, promotes perspiration, and is a detoxifying diuretic that tones the kidney and stomach. It stimulates immunity and white cell production. It's also cancer protective. Burdock also offers a wonderful lymphatic system cleanse. Burdock declogs and cleans the lymphatic system, which is a network of vessels, tissues, nodes, and organs that help rid the body of toxins. It purifies the lymphatic system, which is part of the immune system. It moves a colorless fluid called lymph back into the bloodstream and heart for recirculation. It promotes excretion of toxins, lymphatic debris, and waste, and protects against foreign invaders. The lymphatic system, unlike the circulatory system, is open, providing a return route back to the heart for the surplus 3 liters or so of filtered blood that remains in interstitial fluid. As a traditional blood cleanser, burdock is used to treat many skin conditions. It treats acne, recurrent boils, hives, psoriasis, eczema, and a plethora of skin conditions. It combines well with dandelion, gotu kola, and milky oats. The part of the plant that we use is the root. We wildcraft burdock from pristine areas or plant cuttings in 1 to 2 feet of well-drained soil. We sow seeds anytime in the spring, about 2 inches apart and 3/4 of an inch deep. Burdock grows extremely easily in the wild without human assistance, so garden attention promotes bigger roots. Burdock likes full sun, but will tolerate partial shade. And we harvest it in the fall through early spring, only in the first 2 years or so. Roots grow straight down like carrots, but up to 2 feet long in about 100 days. Let's turn our attention to dandelion. Here you see the beautiful yellow blossoms that we see in our lawns sometimes, growing in the wild, and the roots that we cultivate to make plant medicine. Dandelion promotes healthy liver function. It's a gentle, balancing, detoxifying herb that clears pollutants and toxins. It's useful in skin disorders and arthritis. Dandelion works on the liver, the gallbladder, our colon, and kidney to help clear waste. It helps dissolve existing gallstones and prevents their formation, and promotes bile secretion. Dandelion improves digestion and is a mild diuretic and laxative without the potassium loss. It stabilizes and balances blood sugar, lowering total cholesterol and triglycerides. Dandelion is also extremely helpful in menopause. It reduces hot flashes, clears out estrogen, and balances hormone ratios. The part of the plant that we use is the root. These pollinator magnet perennials tolerate many soil types, but deep, rich soil produces the thickest, easiest to harvest roots. The long taproot breaks up the soil. We start seeds indoors 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost, and then plant in 6 inches of moist potting soil, 1.5 inches apart. We cover lightly with soil but don't bury them because the seeds need light to germinate. We keep them in the sun, moist but not waterlogged, and the seeds should germinate within 7 to 21 days. We transplant them when the seedlings are 3 to 4 inches tall and the outdoor soil temperatures are at least 50 degrees. We harvest dandelion roots from late fall through early spring, when the plant is dormant and the most powerful medicinal energy is stored in the root. In the early spring, the winter freeze has converted the levels of inulin, insoluble fiber, to fructose, which makes spring roots less bitter and chewy. Spring roots are also higher in tauroxicin, which stimulates bile production. We dig the roots before the plants start to blossom in the spring. We select large, vigorous plants because the small, spindly plants won't have significant, robust root structure needed for medicine. We dig and loosen the soil all around the plant to minimize breakage and root damage so we don't lose much sap, which is where the medicinal properties lie. We move on now to Echinacea, and we're looking at the exquisitely beautiful blossoms here. Echinacea is antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. It's a powerful short-term intense immune stimulant and blood purifier that boosts levels of waste bacteria and toxin removal. It keeps white blood cells within the normal range, intensifies production of T cells and macrophages. Echinacea stops viral and bacterial infection, colds, bronchitis, sinusitis, strep throat, and is used externally for wounds, stings, and boils. It acts like interferon, rousing the body's overall response to acute infection, clearing the lymphatics. It stabilizes cells that produce histamine and prompt allergy symptoms. Useful for hay fever, asthma, and food allergy reactions. While roots and flowers can be used, the part of the Echinacea plant that we use in the Africa Diaspora Coalition's Plant Medicine Project are the roots. There are 10 species of natural Echinacea and countless hybrids. Echinacea likes full to partial sun, specifically 4 hours of sun per day, and can grow to 3 to 4 feet. It doesn't need much water after the plants have been established. It's easy to grow from seed but requires a cold, moist period called stratification. Use compost when planting. Plant Echinacea where you want it to end up because they don't like to be moved once established. They're not good transplant candidates. Echinacea establishes deep taproots. Plant and harvest Echinacea root balls in the early spring or in the fall. And here we see the Echinacea root once it has been harvested. In conclusion, I'd like to draw your attention to where the Plant Medicine Project fits into the schematic of a larger network of projects that are interconnected and supportive. The national network, called Community Supported Enlightenment, CSE, is a community of practitioners, many of whom are herbalists and herb growers who combine ancient contemplative practice, sharpened by cutting-edge neuroscience in a quantum science framework for self-transformation in service to social change. Coalition partners fully understand the existential need for increased self-care sovereignty among marginalized people of African descent. We work together in a sociocratically governed, power with, as opposed to power over, collaborative community. Singularity Botanicals and the African Diaspora Coalition co-partners embrace plant medicine as key to autonomy and environmental resilience in this critical juncture in the Earth's climactic history. Environmental resilience building at its best reflects nature's magnificent, multi-layered interconnectedness. And as always, we recognize that our project is primarily about African American self-care sovereignty. We reclaim control of our own health naturally. We address intergenerational health conditions in the Black community. We prepare for systems disruption, which is upon us already. And we produce plant medicine locally to meet our own needs. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to your participation in our next medicinal herb workshop.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this window into how medicinal herbs are transforming health, well-being, and the overall life quality of friends and neighbors in these challenging times. More and more people are learning about the benefits of complementary alternative medicine, particularly plant medicine, in the form of medicinal herbs which can transform the quality of our lives, our health, and our well-being. My name is Pamela Boyce Sims, and I convene the African Diaspora Earth Care Coalition and Singularity Botanicals, two organizations dedicated to putting control of health, self-care, and well-being back into the hands of individuals and communities. We have learned so many lessons about how fragile the healthcare system is. We've seen how systems that we always thought we could count on can be disrupted in the blink of an eye. So we work with communities which are the most vulnerable to climate change, which are suffering from extremely toxic environmental pollution and chronic intergenerational illnesses, to grow and enjoy the benefits of their own plant medicine. The African Diaspora Earth Care Coalition and our distributor, Singularity Botanicals, partner with a wide variety of medicinal herb grow sites in our hub state of Pennsylvania and all around the country. Our medicinal herb partners range from tiny house cooperatives to small farms, Quaker meetings and Baptist congregations, Buddhist monasteries, to community centers and arboretums. Today, we're going to hear from some of the people who are enjoying stronger, more robust health as a function of taking our medicinal herbs, and learn about what interested people in growing medicinal herbs in and for distressed, climate change vulnerable populations. How long had you been dealing with the condition before you decided to go with medicinal herbs?
Okay, so for years, we actually both grew up in Chester. I know there's a lot of refineries and things in the area, but for years I had this mucusy feeling in my chest, and I had this terrible cough that I couldn't get rid of. I went to the doctors a few times. I've tried allergy medications. I've tried steroids. I've tried all types of things. And in the end, the medicinal herbs was the one thing that I actually saw an instant improvement. Like, I actually could feel my symptoms relieving and see them go away. It was crazy. It's definitely crazy.
Wow. So when you say congestion, was it problems breathing, not being able to take deep breaths, or was it kind of rattly or phlegmy or wheezing?
Definitely rattly. Like, if I would inhale, I would always go into a cough. Or at night, I would wake up in the middle of the night just coughing and coughing and coughing. And they always told me it was something called postnasal drip.
Okay.
So, I went to pharmacy technician school, so I knew a lot about medication, and I always chose not to take medication, the medication route. So I didn't want to keep doing, all the prescriptions and things like that. That just wasn't working out. I thought I was allergic. We had a cat at a point. I thought I was allergic to the cat. We stopped doing animals. We started dusting more. We started opening windows in the wintertime, just everything. And there was literally no relief, literally nothing.
Gosh. So describe how, when you're taking the medicinal herbs, can you describe what your breathing is like, or how did you know that there was a change? I mean, can you describe physically what was going on there?
Well, I started in about August, and I want to say the beginning of September was a little rough because it was kind of like, I guess I could feel it breaking up. It was kind of getting worse. One of those things that gets worse before it gets better. Mm-hmm. I kind of could feel like my chest loosening up, and I was bringing up all kinds of things. But
good.
Like, by the end of September, I was inhaling and exhaling. I'm like, wow, you hear that? Like, I'm not coughing. It was definitely different. It was very different. Very different.
It was in a really good place, because I had just been moving in with my grandmother for the last couple of months, and I had issues stockpiling on each other. I had trouble sleeping. That was just a detriment to just the amount of work I was putting in through college and stuff. And then came the memory loss when I got sick last year. So for some reason, I just couldn't retain the same information that I used to. Pen and paper helped me manage a little bit, but at that point, it was just like I had no idea how to get that extra step to feel better. Now, my grandmother, she's very strong on herbal teas and just drinking, eating healthy in general. So when we went to one of these functions, I was like, oh, sure, I'll just go with you, Grandma, just make sure you're all right, And then when we actually got there, it was like, oh, okay, there's a little bit of stuff here for me too. So, I started reading around, and there was the first event that I went to where I had the personal trainer. That's where my outlook on just what I can do to change myself really just started expanding there, because it just went from, okay, well, maybe just a therapist or something will probably help me out. But then I realized there's stuff that I can do myself, right? I could actually get up out the bed and go to the gym or something, or, take a little bit of supplements a day to get me to go by. And that's something that I hold dearly these last couple of months. I'm telling you, if you had seen me from June into now, you think I'm a completely different person. Like, my energy is different, my attitude. I move a lot better now. I have a consistent schedule at the gym. I'm doing well in an internship. Like, it's it's funny how a lot of these things just kind of line up. But it really just started with that changed mindset that I just wanted better for myself. And luckily, you guys kind of helped me out at the right time.
Members of Harrisburg Friends Quaker Meeting, Pennsylvania Plant Medicine Grow Site Partners talk about how their group went through the process of becoming a medicinal herb grow site. They now produce nettle root, which is an ingredient in one of our men's health tonics, and dandelion root, a liver cleanser that detoxifies the body. Partner grow sites at a distance from eastern Pennsylvania grow sites cultivate herbs whose medicinal properties are found in the roots, which can be more easily shipped here to us in eastern Pennsylvania. They grow echinacea, burdock, ashwagandha, dandelion root, elecampane, valerian, and nettle root. Let's take a listen to how their Quaker meeting became a medicinal herb grow site that will serve community members where their Quaker meetings are located in Harrisburg.
I heard about it and became curious when I was involved with the Community Supported Enlightenment run by Pamela. And during some of those sessions, and I ended up asking Pamela about it and decided to bring it to the meeting.
A group of us that were interested in Carter's leading, and so then he arranged for Pamela to speak to us. And this was about a year later, so this was in the spring of 2021 when she actually spoke to our core group. And she outlined the project and how her organization would pay for the materials, and basically Harrisburg Friends Meeting, if we were interested, would supply the sweat equity of creating the beds and planting the things and harvesting. And she told us like exactly what we needed to do and told us what to start with, which would be easier. And so a kind of a group came together and said, okay.
If the sky we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. If the sky we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Oh darling, darling, stand by me. Oh stand by me. Oh stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me, stand by me.